take my hand and we'll go away to a different place. Float on air and we'll hide away. I'll be your escape. Look up and feel the shifting winds tossing us around again. Hold tight, get ready to begin and just levitate.
Okay, I'm here. Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? Is there anybody out there? Please tell please tell me I've not mucked up my audio. I really hope not. If you can see my lips moving but you can't hear any audio, let me know. I also need to change my title because I'm not working on the grenade. You can hear? You can't hear? But, we can hear. Okay. Buff. Oh, hello there, Slightly Moist Gaming. Sounds so wrong when I say it in that voice. So hey, game dev and Slightly Moist Gaming. Anyway, enough of that. So, do I bother changing what I'm working on? I say I'm working on the grenade, but I'm not. I'm actually working on the turrets. That's what I'm working on. How do I edit this from here? Can I edit this from here? I'm looking at my Twitch thing. Okay, so just for the benefit of game dev, because I don't think you went to my website, but I don't think you've seen the game full blown. So this is what I've got at the moment. You watch this bomb out on me. Die. Oh, by the way, I'm full of cold. Managed to catch something from work, so I'm all snuffy. Ugh. So come on, run. It takes a while. Don't know why. Even though semi-fast machine. Can I do the? I'm not doing the full tutorial on your Pac-Man. You can go. No. You mind you, the length of time it took you to do it. I suppose I probably could. I wouldn't really have a time, a time frame, would I? Okay, so this is what I have at the moment. A means of walking around, a means of picking up security badges. If I pick up the right colour security badge, I can go through the right coloured door. I picked a red one up, but that is a yellow door. So my plan on this is, because the whole level is randomly generated, the doors still need to be able to get through, and I'm gonna have, I hate talking down my nose, and you did? Okay, but anyway, I'll explain the door mechanism, because not a lot of people know why I'm doing it. I'm doing mini games, so that if you don't have a key, you still need to be able to get through the door. The only thing at the moment is I've just got questions and answers. So you approach a door, and a box will appear with one question and 4 answers. I've got the cheat mode enabled so that the green one is the correct one, because I don't know all the answers. Hey, oh, my eyesight's going. Hey, Gammio1234. So yeah, there's the questions. Turk's Head, Granny and Blowliner. What type of? I don't know, but they're knots because it goes green. So I picked out the door unlocks, and I go through. Obviously the weapons are all in play, the enemies are in play, as you can see, because he's now chasing after me, and I would be dead by now, but that's another story. Now being attacked by 2 of them, so I am going to blow them up, and for some reason I'm getting lag on my whole system. No matter, I think it's because I've got a lot of stuff running. I do have a couple of bugs, like the enemies here can sometimes walk through walls. And there you go, see, still walk through walls. My frost thrower slows them down. I have a timed bomb so that it counts down and then the bomb goes boom, boom, boom. I have the chucker, which I implemented last week, which basically just throws a grenade at them. I have the flamethrower, the frost thrower, the pistol, or you're unarmed. As you roll the mouse, the weapons at the top left change. But yeah, that's basically where I'm at the moment. So I got that one wrong, didn't I? There we go. So my plan tonight is to, like I said, implement the turrets. And I have to admit, I've cheated. I've prototyped obviously in GameMaker, and then I'm going to bring the code across. Now the prototype, hold on one moment, I'll bring it in to show you. Oh no. So the idea behind it, these turrets will randomly be placed on the map, ideally in the corners of the rooms, only because that's where I've coded them at the moment. Well, I've coded them so you can have them anywhere you want, and the range is anywhere you want, but just for getting them into the game, it's coded in the corners. So the idea being, while you're nowhere near them, they just idly scan, they rotate, they just look around. If I move within the first circle, they will start to lock onto me. See the top right hand corner ones following me around? And then if I go within the second circle, they'll actually start shooting at me. Obviously I'm not going to die yet. So that's the prototype, and like I said, I'm cheating because I've already done it. I'm just going to bring the code across, type it in and whatever, but that's basically what I'm aiming for, so I can bring the turrets into the game. Principally, that's all it is. So if you see me looking to the left, looking to the right, it's because I'm looking at my code on another window. I won't lie to you. So the first things I'm going to need is to sit upright because my back is killing me. So I need to bring in some sprites that I'm going to be using. I'm still waiting on a guy to come back to me with some graphics and whatever. I'm just running off dummy graphics, internet graphics, any old graphics I've drawn, begged, borrowed, steal, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do at the moment. So what am I doing? Let's bring over a turret base for now. Turret base, and we will copy it from here. I should be able to copy and paste. Will it let me? Edit. Maybe I might not be able to. We'll see. Nope. I can't copy and paste. That's a bit silly, isn't it? Okay, so I'll just have to do it this way then. Enemy turret. That one. Sprites. Turret base. Okay, so I'll do it this way. All I've done is I've loaded the actual image into a picture viewer, copied it from there, pasted it in here. Okay, so that's the turret base, and he needs to be in the middle center. Unfortunately, while I'm doing this, yeah, that's what I was thinking of doing, importing it from the sprite folder, but that then means you can see all my folder directory and stuff like that, and it gets a little bit too... oh, that's how he's got his stuff laid out, so I'll stick with this way for now. So I also now need a turret gun. Turret gun. I wonder if I could make that a little bit smaller. Yeah, I could do that actually, and then I can still see the chat window. And turret gun. Copy. Paste. Okay. It doesn't like transparency, clearly. So which one is erase color? It's not that one. Erase tool. Color remover. Black. we go. So that's that one gone. And we need to put him in, whoop, sugar, in the middle center. Okay, so that's him, and we also need the projectile. Projectile. Center. Why am I already using? Oh, sugar! I am on it. I'm also using it in. Oh, where was I using it in there? What? Oh, can't spell. Why am I just using it as? Oh, I'm using the sugar. Okay. No biggie. Is this one? And we'll call this. And my throat's annoying me. Turret. I can't spell. Projectile. Okay. Where are you? Copy. Paste. And how big have I got this one? Oh, 8 by 8. Let's just do it. Really? Can't change that. Okay. Alright, so that is the. Which one is it? There's one of them that zooms. No. Okay, so that's the turret gun projectile. Do. Okay, so. I'm going to need to do. Let's keep things all organized. Close these as well. Alright, I'm gonna need objects. Really? You're all open? I didn't need it to be open. And we're going to need the actual object for this, so we're going to need a object, turret gun, change its right, come on, thank you. Right, enemy, fix that, turret gun. So that's on that one. Now, this turret gun. Now, I'll do the code in a little while. I'll just get the objects in play first, because then I can show you it the way I build it up from the turret base to the turret gun, etc. T-U-R-E-T. And my throat's starting to play up. Enemy fixed enemy turret base. Okay, and we also need the projectile, enemy, fixed enemy, turret gun projectile. Okay, so we've got the turret gun projectile, and then, okay, we're also going to need some scripts, because for this I use the same, again I've cheated a little bit. Why, as they say, why reinvent the wheel? I had scripts that the enemy used here, down or here, so I've basically just used some of those and rejiggled with the code to allow me to do the same thing, but for the turrets. Now I've also cheated. I like this cheat thing, and there's a couple of codes. Some of the code you may see that's been online somewhere in the forums or whatever. You know, I'm not going to take any credit for code that I've copied, but I'm going to take credit for stuff that I've done myself. That's how I work. That's how I roll. So I may as well create a. Do I create a group? Yeah, because we might have more walking enemies, or we might have more fixed enemies. So yeah, I will. So fixed enemy. So we're going to need a script that is. Whoops. Man. Thank you. We need an idle script. I'm not sure, my mouse is having issues. Okay, so we got the script enemy fixed idle. And all that does okay, so I'm just going to copy this over. So there is going to be variables in the objects, but I'll explain what I'm doing in this state machine, for want of a better word. While it's idle, that's its state. It is in an idle state. That's what would, more for debugging purposes, all that would probably disappear. And then all I'm doing is doing a checking the distance between the sight range, which is generated randomly at the beginning of the creation of my object, and if the distance is less or equal to the sight range, it changes the state to script enemy locking on, which is another script which I'm going to copy over. If the chance of moving, okay, if it's not within that, it's basically this variable here is just reading this, which is saying if it's between 9,000 and 9,900, just scan aimlessly, which is another script, but they're all states, so it switches between the state that it needs, and this particular state is idle. From the idle state it decides, am I just going to scan aimlessly, or is the enemy locking on? So the scanning aimlessly one is the one that I'll put in now, which is going to be the next script. So we'll put that there, and all this one does, when I copy and paste, again I'll explain what it does. I'm obviously changing the state text to scanning for debugging purposes. Now I'm saying here, because I've got a counterclockwise or a clockwise flag, depending on which way the turret is going, clockwise, or if you're watching this on video the other way around, but anyway, clockwise or counterclockwise. If the angle of the turret gets to the maximum point or the minimum point, it then changes to the other direction, so it gives you the left, right, up, down, whatever swing you want. But again, if the distance between it and, at the moment, the dummy target, because that's what was being used in the prototype, that'll get changed to player, and then it turns back into the lock and on. A lot of these variables I'm going to have to change because it's going from prototype to real game. Now this shall I change? I've just got that completely random so that if it's between that value it says okay I'm going clockwise. Well, if I am now, go anti-clockwise. I'll just go back forth sort of thing. So that's on that one. And then this last state is basically to say just pick one of the two. Do you want to go back to idle or do you want to go scanning aimlessly so it stays within this or goes back to that script? So it can switch between that one or that one. So that's scanning aimlessly. Then we've got the enemy locking on script, which knows. Okay, from this one, it's a little bit complicated. Again, some of this code, this angle thing, maths is not my strong point, but Google's your friend and you find the answers you need. So I used it. And that basically is to work out the angles. First of all, I'm checking if the sight range, if the distance is less than the sight range but greater than the attack range, because then it has to work out where am I, and again minimum maximum angle, because if I'm below well, let's say you are in the game and there's a corner of the room of the wall and you've got the little turret here pointing downwards, down this way. So if you can envision it down there, now the circle of radius is actually way around. So what do I use surface or just implement? I'm just on the main layer. I'm not surfaces, heads explode. I've messed around with them, I've used them, I've followed tutorials. Like the lighting effect is surfaces, my pause effect is surfaces, but I'm just winging this as I go along, sort of thing. But anyway, like I was saying, the range over here, if the player is up here somewhere, I don't need the turret which down here trying to turn itself back around, pointing up that way. So that's where this limit, minimum, maximum angle keeps it in play. If the new angle is between the minimum and the maximum, it then says okay, I'm locking on, and then it calls this script the gradually turn, which is another one that I stole from the internet. I like stealing from the internet, but I'll show you that in a minute. If it's not within that angle, he's not firing. He's just scanning aimlessly. And then if the distance goes below the attack range, which is the inner circle, it then turns into the fixed attack, which is the next script. So it's just a state machine, as a lot of people advise us to do. So the next one is the enemy fixed attack, but I can't copy that for some reason. Enemy fixed attack. So this one, again, while it's fixed attack, it's checking the distance between me and itself. If it's greater than the attack range, it's just locking on. If it's less or equal to the attack range, it then starts shooting. And then the script I'm firing instigates, and that sets a couple of flags, which causes the individual instance to start shooting at a certain time. I couldn't use alarms because for some reason you can't, at least I couldn't find a way, you can't change an alarm remotely. It's either got to be on in the instance. You can't, I couldn't find a way to set the time or the randomness of the bullet firing from another script. So I did my own step routine, which is like an alarm routine, and it's easier. So that's why I've got this I'm firing script. Now let's copy this gradually turning. If I remember where I got it from, yeah, I will end up building a custom timer script, but at the moment I'm in a situation where I just want to get things into the game. I want to get things, I'm going to do the tweaking after the fact. you know, I'm not really doing this game for anyone else but me at the moment. So you know, I will get there. I will tweak it. I've got a to-do list longer than 2 of my arms put together. So let's copy this over. Again, you can see this was from the internet because it has a lot of comments. My code doesn't have comments. All I know is it does some maths. It looks complicated. It works. I use it. I'd have to find the person who did it and shake their hand. So the I'm firing script, which again picks a random, you know, one of the 4 choices for the speed that the bullets are going to come out, and then sets all the other flags, sort of thing, and off it goes. And I also have this other one which needs to be used, because there's a point where my code is telling itself if the player is within the zone, that it's either in the zone or it's in the zone and able to fire, sort of thing. Yeah. So anyway, they're the scripts. So from that point, I now need the turret base code, which is basically, because it uses a state machine, all it does is it has a step event, and whoops, all it does is that. And for some reason GameMaker just gives me a bit of white screen, don't know why. High CPU usage, yeah, whatever. Then I've also got some debug variables. I suppose I might as well put them in there because I'm going to need to see what happens or what doesn't happen, as the case may be. So I'll put that in there. That's just doing the range, so I can see where the circles are around the turrets. And that other key down, escape, was just in the debug, so I don't need that. Now the turret gun, this is where I ended up putting my own step routine, which is basically, like I was saying about that counter that I can pass for some reason the step countdown, but I can't use it with alarms. So the countdown just goes down. When it hits 0, it's able to fire. It's in the zone. The step countdown 0. It generates the projectile. It basically puts the direction towards, again, object dummy target for the prototype, but I'll change that, and creates the projectile, which was going to have its own code as well for when you get hit by it, I suppose. Thinking about it, because I haven't done that in the prototype. Again, this has got its own little debug data, so I may as well put that in there just so I can see, because I can always take this out after the fact. And left press, don't need to incorporate that because it's only for debug, not for debug, for prototype. Okay, so projectile, and that one at the moment, oh no, just for now, I just want to destroy it when it goes out of the room. Okay, so that is principally, I really wish this would like refocus, because it messes with my OCD. Oh, I suppose I could do that. Yeah, that's giving me errors because I don't actually have stuff in there. Okay, so what I need to be changing now is the... Don't need to touch sprites, I just need to be messing with these to match the object of player, which is that one. So I will have you, because you're now going to be implemented into the real game. That's going to be there. One of those, not those. Let me see, there's nothing in there apart from down the end, which is here. Yeah, I can hear the cicadas outside. That's on that one. I really wish I'd have sort of followed maths when I was in school. Well, followed maths more than I did. So that's all there. Okay, fixed attack. So answering this. Okay. So all in there. Don't have to touch this one because the object names are passed over, because again it's not my script. So that'd be too good for me. That I don't need to change, that was just for testing anyway. So that's there, and that one doesn't need to be changed. So do I need to change anything in this? Let me see. Don't need to worry about anything there. Object projectile, object dump targets. So I need to change that. That and that. Okay. Object base, don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about that. Okay, so now it's time to, I believe, try to bring it into the game. Whoops, what have I just clicked on? Oh, nothing. So for that, again, this is where cheating comes in. I suppose I could have a new group for random fixed enemies, because I'm bound to have more. Random. I put this in the right place. Yeah. I didn't realise enemies is actually spelled like that, isn't it? Huh. Yeah, and I'm meant to be English. Hey. Random enemies. Okay, so. Yeah, that would be add random enemies. Yeah. And then that's okay. So I'm just going to copy that just to make life a bit easier. Because the enemies will only spawn within the walls based on my criteria there. So, anyways, let me duplicate this. Nope, in there. There we go. also duplicate that. Yeah, whatever. I hadn't finished typing, that's why. It gives me an error. I should call it 1. Okay, so that would be in there. So I'm going to put that here. And we also need to change this. We're gonna have to give it a region, aren't we? Yay, another region. Fix down, please. We'll actually just put in here. Fixed. Fixed. Okay, so they all should turn blue slowly. There we go. So if I now just add fixed into here, oops, clicked the wrong thing. Control and V. Level max fixed and 1. Level fixed enemy 1. Then the only thing we create different is the instance itself. I suppose I could leave it outside. So that brings that into there. Oops. Oh, I didn't realize how much a head cold could affect concentration. I'm actually going to move that outside. Where did you put it? Oh, there it is. I'm just going to put it. Really? Okay, you can go there then. You can stay there and like it. Stay there. Okay, so I believe that is everything in place, but this is now where the errors occur, and I have my notepad open to capture the errors so I can see, and let's just see what happens. See what errors I get off the bounce, saying missing objects, missing this, missing that. I know also what I'm going to do. If it doesn't bomb out, I'm going to turn the lighting off and turn the other stuff off, because I don't really need the other stuff for now. Come on. Run so I can cut you. Okay, so it didn't error out to start. I suppose that's a good thing. But what I want to do... Oh, I know why it didn't error out, because I'm not even adding it in. That's why. Let me first of all just turn off that light temporarily. Let's just close these as well, because I don't have OCD, honest. Okay, so when I'm adding random instances, I am adding in here whatever I'm adding, and I didn't add in the random enemies. So I need to add this line in here for now. Okay, so I'm actually going to turn off for now the doors, the enemies, because they don't shoot at me anyway. So I just want to get the thing running first. I also need a fresh drink. I've reached the bottom of my glass. Okay, let me see what errors I get. Errors, errors, give me errors. Errors. I want errors. I want errors. Well, I don't really want errors, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Alright. Execute state, that's because the error basically gave me saying it can't not set before reading in this. What? Did I? Oh, yeah. Excuse my French. So I forgot something. Where are you? I'm trying. I can't remember how the devil you do this now. No, I'm trying to get the actual properties. Home properties. That's not what I want. Okay, why are you being an idiot? It's the preferences. Alright, okay, I'm gonna have to... I don't know what I've just done. But I can't get crops over. Okay, what I'm trying to get to is when I go into the turret base, I'm trying to get to the point where I can add a new event, and unless I'm missing something, I was doing it just a minute ago. Just close all this. Okay, I've got nothing else open there. There's the drawer end, there's the step. You know, I don't know what I've done. I honestly don't know what I've done. I should be able to bring... See, that's what wasn't there a minute ago. When I was right click and open properties wasn't clickable. So I wasn't cracking up. This thing was broke. Honest. I forgot before the create event. That's what the issue is there. Where I'm specifying the idle state, the sight range randomly, the attack range, which is the sight range divided by 2, blah blah blah, all that. Pardon me, stuff like that. So that now shouldn't give me the same error. It might give me another error, but not the same error. Oh, news. Apologise for all the sniffing. I blame somebody somewhere to give me this cold, because I don't actually suffer from colds. I get the snivels for 2 days and then I get a cold sore. Okay, so that's copied from there. Okay, so turret going step Step cap. Don't tell me I didn't put the create event into that either. No, I didn't. Ah, really? Okay. See, brain isn't concentrating. Oh, now that's a thing that's going to be different on this. Huh. For now, I'm going to leave it as it is, but this was again for prototyping so that it would give me random ones. But I also now need to be able to determine if it's the top left-hand corner, it's one of these, if it's the top right-hand corner, it's one of them, blah, blah, blah. But for now, I'm just going to put any old stuff in there. Let's see. Okay, so it appears to be in place. And technically, it's locking onto me. Let's go and see if I can find another one. How many did I put in? Okay, so there's one down there. Now this one's scanning right to left, so it's actually from all the way up to the top to all the way down to the bottom. Okay, so it's locking onto me. Now if I get in the zone, does it shoot at me? Ah, it crashed. Okay. Let's see what the error is. Just copy and paste that in there. Okay, that was the script. I haven't changed the code on the gradually turn, so I guess it did need it. No, it's not that one. It's in turret base. I have. What the devil is it giving me the error on? No, it's not that. It's on the script fixed attack. I'm using. There it is. No, it's not that one. There, that's what it is. Dummy target. So I actually need it to just say object player. So one of the problems with having an object already in there with the same name, you don't catch all the errors. Come on. Okay, so it is. Yep, it's shooting. It's shooting at me! Yay! Still gonna have to determine. Realistically, when I generate them though, I could have it so that depending on which one it picks is where it positions it, and when it positions it, yeah, okay, I can do that. Because I'd also have to determine if. Oh, I'm gonna have to get my original piece of paper out. Let's go and go back a bit. Because if the wall is here, I can't put one here, but I can put one here. Okay. Okay. Alright, first and foremost, I need to prioritize. I need to go and get a fresh drink. So I will be back in a moment. Ooh. Ow. Nice fresh drink, nice little Jim Beam and 7-Up. Okay. So, one of the things I have just got to check though. Oops, let me just close that real quick. Come on. Okay. Alright, where was I? Also, I need to hold on 1 second. Not there. Okay, not to worry. So it actually puts them in play quite easier than I thought it was going to. Oh me. Okay, so the decision making here needs to be done in here. Okay, so that's random. How am I going to go about this? I need to say when it's created. I suppose because the turret base creates the turret gun. So if I say I'm going to put some variables in here which are going to come from this. So the turn speed is going to be in there anyway. That can be changed. So hold on, let me think. Oops. So I'm going to create the turret gun, and the information is going to get passed into it. So these will technically change anyway. Turn speed, which comes into there. To increase speed, turn speed. Okay, so these, oh dear me, this code here, because that's the 8 different positions. I'm just going to copy that into Notepad, and I'm going to blink, whoops. Okay, so that's blinked out for now, because these. Okay, so the script is going to create the base, pass the variables over to the base. The base is then going to create the turret, pass the variables over to the turret. So I need a block of these as well. Don't think I needed that. Why am I using that anyway? Don't know. I'll leave that off for now. So basically, that is now going to be this, my angle, my minimum angle, oh my nose, my maximum angle, and my turn speed. Okay, so these ones all go into the script. Okay, so think. So if I now need to go into the engine, I need to add items to the level, fixed enemies, random fixed enemies. Now I'm saying if it's any of those rooms now. Okay, I'm gonna need to, oh dearie me, I don't even think I've got tiled installed. No, I don't have tiled installed. Okay, so I'm gonna have to install tiled, because I have all my, at the moment, all my rooms in that, which will help me reference the 5, 6, 7, 11, 12 and 13, which you'll see shortly, because I'm going to have to download and install it. Okay. Just take the downloads, tiled for, just do 32-bit, even though I'm on a 64-bit machine. But I'm moving away from tiled because I have a bit of software called Pixel, which allows to do the same thing, but also allows you to edit tiles on the fly, which is quite cool. Whereas tiled, I've not found a means of editing the tiles, just placing the tiles. Oh me, so I'm going to move from tile to pixel. Come on. Computing space requirements. Oh, I've got the hiccups now. Okay. Now, when you're watching this video on YouTube playback, I hope you don't get bored too much. Because obviously I will be uploading this to YouTube when I've finished in about an hour. Come on, install. Okay, so now tile is installed, and I now need to find my, where were they? I can't remember where I have them. In art. Nope, wasn't in that. File sets? Nope, wasn't in that. Where the devil did I put them? That's the rooms using pixel. Okay, I'm gonna have to search. Oh no, I know how to do it. I'll call it corridor. Okay. Where are you? Building blocks. Corridors. There you are. Corridors and rooms. So let's put the corridors in first. Really? Can I do it this way? Okay. If you want me to be like that, that's fine too. What is up with this window over here? Seriously? It's really giving me issues. It's not letting me move. Okay. Let's save this one real quick. In case things die. Wow. Seriously, it's not letting me click on the window. Alright, okay. Want to be an idiot? I'll just leave you be. F. Source. Not using source. Building blocks. Corridors. Okay. Let's get tiled. Open again. Check automatically, whatever. Okay, so. No, wrong one. Not using source. Building blocks. Corridors. So there's all the corridors, or the building blocks I should say. And now I need to open the rooms. Just open all them up. And so for example, I'm saying here current screen block is 5, which basically means it could be either that one or realistically that one. So I'm basically saying, is it 5, is it 6, is it 7? That's how I'm doing that. So for testing purposes, I'm only going to have room 8. Am I using 8? No, I'm not using 8 on that one. 7, 11, 11, 11, 12. Okay, so I can have any of these numbers I want in here, but for now, just for testing, we'll use 11. I'm going to move that over there away. So again, just for pure testing purposes, because I don't want to goof up my code. Must be an easier way of doing this comment number. So if current screen block is equal to 11, and only 11, we're then saying is that screen, room, or corridor 1 is the screen rooms. Then I'm saying block row between 2 and 9, column between 2 and 9. So that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, can't be right. Oh. Yeah, no. 2 and 9. 12. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. So realistically, I should say 1 and 1. Let's just force these variables. In fact, I'm going to do 2. Okay, that's 2 and 2. But I've also got to pass over some variables which I said were going to be these. So that's going to need to go in front. Again, this is just purely for debugging purposes and what I go to get done tonight and continue doing tomorrow. Okay, so if he's going to be in block room 11 and he's going to be in the top left hand corner, I really want him to be going top left, so it's the positions of the angles going to be 3, 1, 5. Hey, I really need glasses. Hey Milan, welcome to the stream. I'm just currently trying to implement my turret into my main game and watching bugs drop left, right and center. So this now, okay, so if it's room 11, it is a room, I'm fixing it in the top left hand corner and then creating the top left hand turret, setting the variables, and it should, well, they all should point down towards the right, I think. Let's see what happens. See what, if any errors I get is going to happen now. Play, run, execute. What are we waiting for? Christmas? Okay, let's see if any of them created. Okay, so one did create over there. But I probably can't get over there because... Oh yeah, I can. I really should speed up the walk speed just for this. Just to get over there. Okay, so... Right, so he's... No. Yeah, hasn't passed the information over. Yeah, it hasn't passed the information over. Okay, so... No, it did pass the information over because it said error not set. Silly me. So... Let's just change this so it says what it should say. I'm also going to close this other instance of Game Maker because I do believe it's killing stuff. I don't need tiled open at the moment. I'm getting major lag. I don't know why. I don't mind, but my PC specs are half decent. I think it's because I've got all this stuff open on the other window, which I am just in the process, whatever, of closing. May as well delete these whilst I'm in my emails. And we'll be back to my coding in a minute. Okay, so top left. Now, if I had the top left, where's the? I really hate Game Maker's angles. Angle image. So let's see. Okay, so yeah, it is that one. Not 270. Yeah, maximum angle is 360 or 0. 270. I start at 315. So why was he not doing what he should do? Creates the object turret base, passes past my position display, and is that what I've put in that? Past my position, yeah. Past my angle, past my min angle, past turn speed. It passes all that over, which then just sets up on here, past my angle. So my angle's past my angle. I wonder if that's been... Now let's just leave these up, just to see. My minimum angle, my maximum angle is these. So now if it doesn't come across, it will say that if it doesn't pass it over. I hope. Let's see what happens. This is a quiet tune. This is just some tunes off Spotify, no copyright sounds. It's one of the things that's a bit of annoyance when you upload your stuff to YouTube. Anything that's commercial gets blanked out because it's copyright, which is annoying. So we'll see. Alright, do I have one? Okay, so he's up there. Wonder if we should change it so it's that room. Which is north, south, and west. Let me change that. Only because it's going to make life easy while I'm bug testing type thing. So it was north, south, and west, which is room. On tile. Don't be an idiot. It is room 13. Click in my tile. Room 13, north, south, and west. So I should be able to say if a room is 13, it should hopefully create right by me, just to save me walking off. Let's see. I've had a lovely Mexican tonight with the wife. Plenty of leftovers, which I'll be eating later. Okay, so it did appear in the right place, but it's still saying error not set. Because it's like the information's not being passed over. Because the information's being sent, or because it's not being sent, I should say. This information is what ends up being the information that's sitting in here. I wonder. No. I shouldn't. Okay. So. Can't do it with arguments. Because I'm creating the instance. So. The next way to try it is I shouldn't have to do this. But this is because this is old old 1.4 code. This doesn't have the depth in it at the moment. So let me just try this just because I can. Don't think this is going to make any difference whatsoever. But as you say, God loves a trial. Because past my position display should then go into the object ID which has been created by that, which is that. And I know it clears it out. Oh. No, because if I take them out, it's going to say to me the variables haven't been created here, because it's asking me for that variable which is there, and now I've blanked it out. It's gonna it's gonna throw up an error saying it's not there. But I'll try just to prove myself right. Well, prove me right, give me the error. Give me the error. Give me the error. Come on, give me the error. Why is it taking so long to load up? Yeah, see. Not set before reading. I knew that was going to do that. Oops. I knew that was going to do that. But I'm wondering if... Concrete... No. This should not make anything different whatsoever at all. It really shouldn't. I really need to tidy all my code up. Okay, so it creates it. It should set these up, and it gets to them and then uses them. And if this doesn't work, I'm going to change the instance create to GMS2 style rather than 1.4 style. It shouldn't be that, but because it's legacy code, you can never really guarantee it. Because basically when I was doing this project to start with, it was in 1.4. I then exported the code and then imported it into GMS2. GMS2 is quite cool, now I'm getting used to it. But I'm going to have some bugs, I believe. The pause event has been registered, but the game needs to be running to do the pause event. Come on! There we go. No, say error not set. Still not set. It's not passing the information over. No. Okay, so there's one problem I'm facing. How to get that to happen. Because I can't have them randomly generated. I can't have them randomly generate their data because they can't be, as much as they're randomly placed, they can't be facing the wrong way. So I wonder. I could get around it by using a separate object with an invisible sprite which holds the data, and then I could create the dummy tag, populate the dummy tag, create the turret base which pulls the data from the dummy tag. It should have it, in theory. I'm really close with straws here. So, object, turret, object, turret data. Now, this turret data is going to contain this. I don't know why I'm using that increased speed. I'm going to leave it out. So the turret data is going to create holding data. Okay, so that's only holding the data. So realistically, what I should be able to do, turret data. So if I say data id equals instance. We can put that 0, 0. We can say 0, and then we'll go object turret data. Then we can say this should go here. Whoops. And then we create turret. So the data's gone over. Because this is going to just be a lot, when I've got this fully tweaked, this is just going to be a lot of if statements. You know, if it's this room and it's this position, then it can be this turret. If it's this room and this position, it can be this turret, blah blah blah, and it builds them all up. But I've just got to work on one for now. So generate the turret data, generate the object turret data, and then giving it its information. And then from here, I would say this would be my position equals object turret data so it's passed. Oh, man. Past. Right, so that, to that, to that, to that. And then I should be able to basically go with object turret data. Instance destroy, because so basically I'm saying create it, pull the data from the turret data and destroy the turret data, I think. The bottom line is that will either say not set, or from here it should create the data object, and then dump top left 305 blah, 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 all that stuff in there. It then creates the turret base, which is the turret base. Does its thing, reads the data from the turret data, and then destroys the turret data, ready for next time round. In theory. There's that word again. Let's see. I'll be glad when this stuffy nose goes away. And it's worked. Because it now says top left and it's going between that angle and that angle. And if I go within the... It should... Yeah, it shoot me, but it's... Yeah, okay. Now, positioning now. I want to see if I can move it into the top left hand corner. I can also mess around with range. Oh me. I don't know why this takes so long to compile. No, that doesn't quite work, does it, graphically wise? Yeah, that no. But then again, this is only temporary graphics. Hopefully I'll have somebody who can do the graphics soon enough. The direction of the game may even change, who knows. I've got just the fundamentals of the game going. He's been talking to me about putting the game in a different direction. Same room base, get around, do this, do that, but you know, find various things, do various things. He's just been giving me ideas, but we'll see what happens with that. So what I want to be able to also do is change the, was it the gun that determined? I can't remember. Can't remember my own code. Okay, no, it's the base that determines the sight range and the attack range. So I could actually put that in the data. Sight range, yeah. So we can say past sight range equals 0, and the attack range is going to be 0 as well. Because that's going to get passed over from the creation. Because I'd like some form of randomness from the creation, so I don't need it being fixed from here. So that now and again, I just like, in case I break things, to keep the original code in there. Shouldn't break things, but so past sight range and past copy. Oh, wrong one. Past sight range, past really past attack range. So then in here, where it's generating them, is date ID past sight range and the date ID past attack range. Okay, so now I know I can actually increase these to, let's just say, 200, 250, or 300. So now that circle of the sight range around them will be bigger. And here's one of the cats who's wanting to come see if he can get attention. Isn't that right, Bootsy? Hey? What's the matter? Yes, I know. You missed me. You're the one that spent all day asleep. Oh, nose is squeaking. Right, why has that died? Let me just copy that into Notepad. It's just easier to reference. Now, why did that die? Let me see. Past attack range. Ah. Yeah. So it's actually that value should have been in there. Because the value wasn't there to start with, was it? Silly me. Cat's bugging off over there. Okay, let's try again. Try again. If you don't try, you never succeed. Still want to know why this is taking its time to compile. Ooh! I need to get myself a better chair. If anyone else can buy me one, feel free. There's a little sweetie. These little candy eggs. Yes, Bootsy? What is this doing? Ah. Oh dear me. Silly bee. I didn't remove. Oh, sugar. I didn't include this. I didn't include that. It's the simple bugs. Being stared at by the cat. What? You want in on the stream too? Yeah? Eh? You want in on the stream too? You're not having any of my sweets? No, you're not. You can't. You can't have sweeties. They're human sweeties, not cat sweeties. Okay, there we go. That's better. So, it would be idle, but if I go in this zone, she'd wait blocking on and trying to follow me. And now it's shooting as well because I'm in that other zone. Okay. That's good. So, that works. Now do I bother? Delete that. Now I know that works. Oh, I can't breathe. I've got a lot of work out to do for the different screens, not screens, different. Huh. So really? Oh shit. How can I do that now? But I have to basically, the block row can either be one of 4 points. Right, yeah, I'm gonna have to go back to good old traditional pen and paper. That's gonna be a challenge. Because I'm gonna have to, my own sanity, I'm gonna have to position, print all the rooms off. I'm supposed to do it to tile. But I'm gonna have to position the rooms off, position where the turrets could be, and then make a lot of if statements. Saying a block row, for example, that block row, block column. Block is the room that is generated, i.e., did I close tile? No. Like for example, that would be one block, 12 by 12. So I would say, for example, you know, is the current screen block 13? Yes, it's that 13. Then I'd pick a block row and a block column. So that would be 2-2. That would be like 2-9. That would be 9-2, and that would be 9-9. But then if it was 2-2, it can only shoot down this way. If it's in that position, it can only shoot that way. This position, it can obviously go that way, and this position can go that way. But I've also got it configured so that potentially I could have one on the wall here, which would scan more of a arc all the way around. So that's my thoughts on this matter. I need to put these little sweeties away because that is not going to help my diabetes at all. Okay, so that's on that one. So I don't want to make a start on that now. I'm just obviously happy all that came into play and worked. At a point, let me also check the randomness of it as such, because I created it so that it reached the maximum. I'm going to need to restart my machine. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it now, but I'm in major slowdown over here on the left. If only you could see what I can see. Should have really changed the. So that's no biggie. Should have changed the Twitch subject thing. Not the subject. The what I'm working on, but that's no biggie. No biggie. Right, so let's see. Cat sneezing. Enemies. Now, did I leave it the same? Yeah, 36. Okay, so essentially the max amount of turrets that could be on the level is 36 of the bloody things. Oh, no, that's based on the... Oh, sugar, that's a point. Oh, the other cast decided to come and have a look. I just remembered that I've got the level set at medium, I think, so the, or is it small? Let me change that. Where did I change it? I can't remember. I think it was in level. Game diff. I've got it on medium. And oh look, cheat mode's on. So I'll put it on level 3. I'm gonna have to let it run before it quits. I just don't want to chance it. Oh, my nose. Because on game difficulty 2 or medium at the moment, I've got it like in a maths scenario. So if I put it at like game difficulty 4, it would be stupidly big because the room itself is generated on the fly. So I'll show you when it runs. Like that's a level 2. That's medium. And yes, it's only going to display one, isn't it? Just thought. But anyway, that's no, it should display more than that. But that's like level medium 2. So if I just put it to 1, I'll show you again what it looks like. Because, like I said, the room generates itself based on criteria. Game difficulty being one of them, because I figured if you've got a low, quiet, small level, everything will be smaller. The room, the size will be smaller and stuff like that. So I'll show you the map when this one runs as well. I just don't know why my game maker's going forever. You see, that's smaller in comparison to the other one. Yes, the sections that you can't get to. Another thing, another issue I've got to address. That's another story. So if I generate level 3 and then run it, you'll see the difference in size of the level. actually files. I've got one cat staring at the bin for some reason. Or as the Americans call it, trash can. Come on, come on. Hey. The music ain't too bad. Come on. Okay, see the difference in the size? And there's more being created because the level is bigger. So the math says, well, I need more of them. So as you can see, it's created 5 of them on that same level and put me all the way over here. That's the way it goes. I don't think I ever tried 4. I can't remember. No, I didn't. Yeah, I've got it hard coded. I just remembered. If I find, say, I've got it hard coded to fix certain parts, so I can't at the moment. I'd have to do a lot more tweaks, level sizes, resolution, stuff like that is all hard coded based on the difficulty. The game percentage is different. I could tweak it all, but I don't want to be doing that right now. All I know is I'm happy that that has worked. Do believe the I'm gonna have to have some Vicks or something in my nose. I'm having a challenge breathing up. But I know I am getting near the end of my stream in a minute. I've only got about 10 minutes left and then I want to wind down. Just debating whether or not I'm going to play a game tonight or just watch some of my fellow streamers stream, basically. Till I fall asleep. I haven't decided yet. But welcome if you've just joined. This is just me developing my game, which I'm currently calling it Highrise Escape. The name could change. Names have been changed to protect the innocent, as they say. It's a 2D Alien Breed type game. Alien Breed being on the Amiga, if you remember Alien Breed. Let me see if I can get over. Okay, I can't get over there. I'll just go over this way. Again, I should have changed the speed. Can I get over there? No. I can't get over there. No. Can't actually get over there. That's one of the things with mazes. Or can I? Wait, I can. I can get down there. I did actually have a routine in place. You'll see this extra guy here. He basically is my pathfinder. So if I wanted to go somewhere, I'd normally right click and go down there. But because I'm using right click for my grenade launcher, I can't use right click, so I've disabled that at the moment. At least I can get down there. So he's scanning top left. But you notice he won't come for me if I'm not within 90 degrees that he's allowed to turn. The moment I go within the 90 degrees, he then locks on. And again, if I go within this little bubble, he should start shooting. Yep. I'm happy with that. But what was I going to do? Something I was going to do before it went off. No, I can't remember what I was going to do now. No, I honestly can't remember what I was going to do. I suppose I could turn all the other things back on in the game for now. Only so I don't forget. So let me see. Basically, I can turn. I'll leave the lights off though because, and the elevators. You can see that in the code there. I do have elevators. I don't know whether it's going to be elevators. I don't know whether it's going to be stairs. I've got it made so that Game Maker uses a random seed which you can store, and if you use the same random seed and you force the seed, it will generate it again. So I've got it made so that if I go to the first level, it takes the seed, generates the level based on what it's randomized. Then I go to a new level, it generates a new seed and a new level, but it remembers the previous seed. So that if I go back down the elevator to the level below, it can regenerate the level how it was, even though it was random, if that makes sense. So there is randomness to it, but once you play in the game, each level will, each stage, floor, whatever you want to call it, will end up remaining the same. Which it's got its advantages because you don't want new doors, new enemies reappearing. You want them, if they're dead, they're dead. But you still want randomness to the game. So that's basically what's going to be in play. But I've got a bit of a bug with the elevators. It's not high on my list at the moment. So that's why it's not actually in place. It's not working properly. Because that just, again, adds a random elevator on the way up. It's all exactly the same. Just randomness. Picks a room, asks whether it's a room or a corridor, because there's going to be points where I want to be able to control randomness within corridors as well. And it's all ifs, buts, do this, do that. That's how it's all built up. So, you know, whilst it appears random, the logic behind it is all questions. You're just questioning the routine to say, hey, what do I need to do next? Am I doing this? Am I doing that? And for some reason this is going really slow. Go away. But that's basically it for now. There's nothing else I really want to get into right now. Only time-wise. On my little to-do list, which is here, which I need to log into. And if you're ever thinking about having some project management or whatever, there's various ones out there, there's free ones. Try to get one because they do help. They help you give focus as to what you want to do, what you want to do next. See, I've got in my little list that the next thing I want to do tonight was my turrets, which I have now done. They're not fully complete. I'm going to continue with it tomorrow. I'm going to bring in they shoot, they take energy. I've got God mode on, so I won't die, but they take energy. I want to be able to destroy them, but I don't know whether I'm going to destroy them with guns or whether you've got to throw a grenade. I want to also do a few more ifs and buts to say, if it's in this screen, do it that corner, if it's in that corner, do it this way. So I want to do a few more ifs in there. A lot of them I'm going to do offline as well, because that'll, all those if statements will bore the crap out of everybody. Basically, but I'm pleasantly pleased with the progress I have made tonight. I'm going to stick with this plan, with the prototyping, and then bringing the prototype into the game. That way I've still done the code, but I'm not feeling, while I'm still new to this streaming thing, I'm not feeling as pressured to get my code right and, oh golly gosh, he's crap at code or whatever. I don't think I can do it on the fly just yet, but I'll get there. But let's just make sure this all runs and being stared at by the cat. She's probably wondering why I'm talking to myself. I'm not actually talking to myself, Bella, just so you know. Okay, so that's all in play. All the patches have all appeared for some reason. Oh, because it's on high level. Forgot to change that back down to level 2. Again, there's the questions. Ringo Starr, Thomas the Tank Engine, Frost Thrower, Flamethrower. Yeah, the chucker, like I was saying, is my right mouse thing. That's why I had to disable the dude over here. Let's blow that up. I know you're only thinking, but you're going to die. What? Nope, missed you. Dead. Okay, so. But yeah, I'm pleased. I've still got bugs. There's still bugs. But you see, what I was saying earlier on is even though I'm within the lock-on zone, it's making a line out of me trying to lock on. But it should only lock on when I'm within the 90 degrees. And then none at all when it's there. So yeah, that's cool. So I'm happy with that.